Okay, my next sort of key bone of contention, the whole area of pricing. Um, this for me is one of the key fundamental sort of issues. I think that a lot of companies that I see, established and new, don't really understand, because when you're looking at pricing, it's more than what I call a cost plus approach, i.e. you knock at Mr. Manufacturer's door and you say, can you give me a price for producing this range or this product? You then, as wholesalers who want to sort of engage with retailers, will add on your profit margins. The retailers in turn are going to sort of look at your product, having added their margins on, and maybe evaluate it and think it's too expensive for what it is. What you have to do is not work from the manufacturing price point. Again, the old mantra, the old saying, you have to work from the market inward. You have to understand where the price sensitivity and where your position in the market is. And when you do look at sourcing potential manufacturers, understand what level of pricing and cost you want to get that manufacturer to price at. Because if you're just going to manufacturers and asking for a price, they will give you a price, but it may not be appropriate to what you want to sell. Okay, and again, as always, you have to measure yourself against other competition that's already out there, because when you look at engaging with buyers, they will look at your product and your service and benchmark you against other players. Okay, again, if nothing else, this is a key area that you really need to understand. It's the difference between the cost, price and value. Like I said before, cost is a matter of fact. It's the cost of, your fixed costs. It's the cost of what it's going to cost you to make a product. Your pricing is a matter of judgment about the market that you're in, based on what margins you may want, based on maybe what you feel you can get for your product. Where a lot of players miss potential to add value is looking at the perceived value that your product can actually get. So it's more than a cost plus and pricing. When you're looking at putting ranges together, look at perceived value that maybe you may get a price point for a product, and you may think, well, actually, looking at it, I think I can raise the game. I think I can raise the bar on that. So even if, you're making 300% margin, if there's perceived value in what you're doing, do it. Yeah. The other thing when you're looking to engage with buyers, if you look at it one-dimensionally and you're just sort of asking them to sort of compare like with like, you have to sell the features and the benefits of what you do. And it's usually these hiddens that buyers want to understand, because it's more than them just sort of buying a product from you. They want to know what added value you can give to them in terms of, the features of what you do in a product. So, let's say if you're engaging in sustainable fabrics, or the way that you might sort of create your product is something different, you need to make that transparent, because if not, and they don't sort of get what you're doing, they're going to sort of perceive that you might be too expensive for what they're wanting to have. So it's a little bit, I compare it that if you're in a shop and I find it difficult now with new age fabrics to sort of discern the difference between 100% polyester and 100% silk shirt, because the way that sort of technical fabrications are, there's some really good improvements out there. But again, as a buyer, I will always perceive more value in a silk shirt, because, with labelling and point of sale material, it just heightens the value. Again, we all understand that we're going to pay more for a bespoke suit from Savile Row than one off the peg. Why? Because it's all the added features that one gets from that. So again, if you can build some of these additionalities into your pitch when you are engaging with buyers, it just heightens the likelihood that, you can raise the bar in terms of them buying into you. be clear also what you're offering. Are you going to be item specific? Are you offering shoes only? Are you offering accessories? Are you offering ranges? Are you offering a lifestyle product? Again, make sure that there's a direction, a story, and contextualise, if it is lifestyle products, how your product works within the context of I mean, an example that I can sort of pull out is I'm working with a wallpaper designer at the moment who basically hand prints everything on very, very large scale, beautifully crafted product, but very difficult to get a handle of on a roll. So what she did was basically, through her website, sort of did room sets and just saw the sort of feedback and sales increase because people could actually visualise how the product worked within the context of wallpapering a room. So it's simple things that can sort of help. When we're looking at range planning, the key elements are looking at colour balance. So although we may sell 80% black, if you were just basically trying to sell a black range, it wouldn't create impact, it wouldn't create buying, but you have to have a balance of, you know, the best sellers as well as trend colours. Style and shape are key across the board, and materials and fabric. Again, when you're range planning, be very, very clear where you position your marketplace. You know, you've got players that are in the value, the middle and the high, and you have to be, you almost have to pigeonhole yourself because buyers work in compartments, and unless they can sort of compartmentalise you, they'll find it difficult to sort of see where they can place your product within their range. When we look at colour and range planning, again, put sort of colour into story. So rather than sort of just have a mishmash of colours that, you know, don't have any synergy within your range, if you can put them into stories, customers and buyers in particular work on storyboards and they understand trend colours. So if you can sort of get into the mindset of how they buy, it's going to be easier for them to see where they can place you. What tends to happen with a lot of businesses, it will be that they may sort of have a one-dimensional approach to what they do. If you look at a layering process, so think of it as the good, better, best approach, what happens then is if buyers are sort of perceiving you as too expensive, you can actually say, well, look, you know, we've got a range within our total offer that can actually meet your expectations on price and styling. So, you know, it's not the top quality of what we do, but it actually fits the marketplace in which you're engaging. So again, with range planning, if you layer it in terms of styling, in terms of colour, in terms of pricing, what you're actually doing within your own ranges is potentially building more market share for you to engage with a wider variety of retailer rather than just a sort of retailer in one element of the marketplace.